More than 350 million people around the world live with major depressive disorder, and many more likely go undiagnosed. Antidepressant medications are the most common treatment for MDD, including SSRIs like Zoloft, SNRIs like Cymbalta, and atypical antidepressants like Wellbutrin, among many others. While these meds have been demonstrated to work, their effectiveness varies widely, and they often don't fully address the condition. Plus, the side effects can be very serious. Given these challenges, researchers are exploring new treatments. One promising area gaining traction is the study of psychobiotics. I'm Nate Hopkins.
And I'm Arya Gavande. This is Psychobiotics and Major Depressive Disorder. The term psychobiotic was coined in 2013 by a group of researchers. They define it as a live organism that, when ingested in adequate amounts, produces a health benefit in patients suffering from psychiatric illness. In simple terms, psychobiotics are probiotics that affect mental health over time. The term has expanded to include prebiotics, postbiotics, and synbiotics. Prebiotics are substances that help feed beneficial microbes. Probiotics are live microorganisms beneficial to human body. And postbiotics are byproducts of digesting probiotics and prebiotics. Symbiotics combine both probiotics and prebiotics. Psychobiotics aren't just explored for MDD, they're also being studied for conditions like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, anxiety, and more. Let's look at how microorganisms in gut might influence the brain through Microbiota-Gut-Brain axis.
The Microbiota-Gut-Brain axis is the communication network between the gut's several trillion microorganisms and the brain. While much of how it works remains unclear, several pathways have been identified. One way gut microbes communicate with the brain is through neural signals to the vagal nerves, which control rest and digest functions like heart rate and digestion. Gut bacteria can also produce neurotransmitter building blocks and neurotransmitters themselves, like serotonin, linked to mood and sleep, norepinephrine, which is involved in stress response and blood pressure, and dopamine. These three neurotransmitters are associated with depression when imbalanced. While they may not enter the brain directly, they could affect it by interacting with the enteric nervous system in the digestive tract. Another pathway involves gut microbes producing short-chain fatty acid, or SFCAs, which can influence gene expression and metabolism. Lastly, gut bacteria can produce cytokines, small proteins that might enter the brain and cause inflammation, which has been shown to affect mood and behavior. Cytokines can also impact cortisol, the body's main stress hormones. These four are just a few examples, and many of the mechanisms are still poorly understood. However, an imbalance in the gut microbiota, whether from too few beneficial microbes or too many harmful ones, can disrupt these channels and potentially affect brain function. This is known as gut dysbiosis.
The gut microbiota is increasingly seen as a key factor in development of major depressive disorder. Studies comparing individuals with depression to healthy controls show that those with depression often have fewer beneficial bacteria, while harmful bacteria are more prevalent. Interestingly, animals exhibit depressive behaviors after receiving gut microbiota transplants from depressed patients, indicating a strong link between gut health and mood. It is widely accepted that changes in gut microbiota can contribute to depression. Because this is a two-way system, depression can worsen gut health, creating a vicious cycle. Psychobiotics may help restore microbial balance and break the cycle.
Research on the effectiveness of psychobiotics in treating major depressive disorder is still limited, but the results so far are promising. Several studies comparing psychobiotics to placebos have shown a significant reduction in depression symptoms in the psychobiotic groups. However, only the groups receiving probiotics, not prebiotics or symbiotics, consistently showed improvement. The most noticeable effects were seen in patients with mild to moderate depression, suggesting psychobiotics may be particularly beneficial for these groups. Still, more research is needed to fully understand psychobiotics and how they compare to antidepressant medications.